guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
more than 10 great facts about Brazil. I'm sure some of you know because we kind of been reacting for a minute, but we'll see.
Today on FTD Facts, as per usual, we explore another really fascinating country. And here on the channel, we've had the opportunity to find out what is great about many different places from around the world. But for this video, we look at the amazing people culture of Brazil, who have a unique and positive way of life with a very unique attitude. And as well, it is a country of not just beauty, but peace. Welcome to FTD Facts, everybody. My name is Dave Wobble, and today,
when did you make this video?
2018. It's a little older video, but it's cool.
We're talking about Brazil. Now, one of the reasons we're talking about this country is, first of all, it's been actually requested for such a long time. And I know a lot of you guys have been like saying, yo, we gotta do Brazil. And as a matter of fact, once a week we do a poll on this channel to see which countries you want us to talk about next. And yeah, we had like Brazil in there, and like, I don't know, over 53% of you guys that voted in, of the, I think, 4,000 people that voted in, said, yo, we gotta do Brazil. So we're like, okay, Brazil it is. And which reminds me, guys, if you guys are from Brazil, or if you guys want another parts to Brazil and you want to learn more, throughout this video, just hit that like button, because if we get over 3,000 likes, we generally like to do a second part. As well, just to let you guys know, I'll talk about it at the end of this.
So how many likes we got? 5K, so I'm assuming there's part 2, okay.
Video, because I don't want to ramble too much on, but this video has been brought to you by Pirates of the Caribbean Tides of War, which is a really fascinating game, and again, I'll get into that a little bit later. So right now, let's dive into it. Let's take a look at the beautiful country of Brazil. I mean, we could just talk about the women all day long, because so gorgeous. Anyways, getting off that topic, let's look at the population first. Now, it is the 6th largest country in the world. And as of a 2018 estimate, it has 209,077,000 people. And of course, all these people are stretched across a land.
I think now it's like 223 or something. I remember looking it up.
And size of 8,515,767 kilometers square, making it actually the 5th largest country in the world. I didn't even know that. And throughout that land size, their water percentage sits around...
Is that an underwater bridge, or is it...
Oh, I think just quality is a little blurry. I don't think it's underwater.
0.65%. And above that, with its...
What's the point of having an underwater bridge? Is it underwater?
Land size
it
and
is underwater.
Its population density...
I think it was underwater. What do you need an underwater bridge for?
This is a secret.
Huh?
Sits at 25 people per square kilometer, ranking 198th in the world. Now, Brazil is a very interesting name for the country. So how did it get this name in the first place? Well,
so very interesting. He's basically saying a lot of people, very big, but since it's so big, there's it's very sparsely. Which just makes sense, because the Amazon, the forests take up a lot of space, so it makes sense.
They say it comes from the Portuguese word Brazil wood, which is actually a tree that grew heavily along the coast of Brazil, and actually in the 16th century it was a very valuable tree that was sold in Europe. Now, some records show that even the Portuguese called Brazil the land of the Holy Cross, but the reason it got the word Brazil is because sailors who came over across would call the area the land of Brazil. Thus, therefore, it got its name, Brazil. So now we know Brazil's got over 209 million people as
Very interesting fact.
But who are...
I didn't know that. That was a nice little tidbit. Okay.
Are these people that live in the country? First of all, it should be noted that approximately 47.73% of the people identify as white, whereas 43.43% are identified as Pardo. Of course, about 7% of them are black, and 1% being Asian, and so on. But what gets really fascinating about this is the religion that is within Brazil. It's really, well, quite intense. This is because they say that approximately 54 to 64% of the entire population is of the Catholic religion. And this means that within the country, there's approximately 112 to 126 million Catholics, making it the country with the highest amount of Catholics in the entire world. It's crazy. And within Brazil, because people are religious, they show a lot of respect towards the religion, and they've built a lot.
I mean, of course it makes sense, everything he's saying. I just never thought about it, I guess. But that makes perfect sense. Yeah, wow.
buildings and structures, which I'll talk about that in a short time. Because right now, guys, I just want to move over and talk about the moolah and the government of Brazil, because they got some unique things here. Now, for many people outside of the country, they may think something like Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro are the capitals of the country. And this is simply due to the fact that these two cities are the biggest cities in the entire country. As a matter of fact, Sao Paulo has the most, with over 21 million people living within it, and Rio de Janeiro has over 12 million. However, the actual capital of Brazil is Brasilia, being the 5th largest city with just under 4 million. Also, interesting fact about Brasilia, it's one of the few countries in the entire world that's been modeled after something that exists in the real world. And what I mean by that is if you look at Brasilia from the air, it is actually in the shape of an airplane. Now,
Yeah, it does look like an airplane. Airplane or like a bird. Maybe like a bird wings too, kind of. Okay.
the thing is, you might think, oh, well, was this a fluke? No, it's way too precise. It was actually done intentionally. The reason for this is because the city planner and architect, Oscar Niemeyer, decided to model it around an airplane. Maybe he just had a huge thing for airplanes, I don't really know. As well, it should be mentioned that the city of Brasilia became the capital on April 21st of 1960. Because before that, it was actually Rio de Janeiro, which had the title since 1763. And
so they changed the capitals too. Oh, honestly, I already like this video better than geography now, I feel like. I don't know, because geography now, I like the jokes and whatnot. This is like straight facts, very interesting facts too.
Or that it was even Salvador. And it also should be noted that when Rio de Janeiro was the capital way back in the day, it was actually also the capital of Portugal, making it the only country to have a capital outside of a European country that is overseas. Okay, let's break it down even further. Let's look at money. Let's look at GDP and all that stuff. Now, Brazil has a gross domestic product purchasing power parity of $3.389 trillion, making it the 8th largest in the world. Of that, the GDP per capita sits at $16,199. And going further than that, where does a lot of this money get generated from? Well, one big thing is exports and imports. Because for the exports, they sit at approximately $451 billion as of 2016, ranking the 23rd highest exporter in the world. Of that, their biggest exports are iron ore at 9.1%, soybeans at 8.6%, which actually also, when it comes to soybeans, they produce 31% of the world's demand for soybeans. They're actually second in the world because America does like 32%. On top of that, there's also crude petroleum at 6% and raw sugar at 5.2%. Which it should also be noted when we're going to talk about raw sugar. We should mention that Brazil is the #1 producer in the entire world of sugarcane. With India coming in second, it exports 41% of the world's demand. With the country...
That's interesting though. We haven't heard wood nor coffee, which I thought that because I believe people said in the comments that Brazil makes like the most coffee in the world, but we don't really hear about Brazilian coffee, so maybe they just consume it and don't export it like that. And also wood, I kind of thought, you know, because Amazon, they're chopping up a lot of Amazon, I thought they would export a lot of wood too, so that's interesting that it's not included in this. Or I guess money-wise, coffee and wood is just cheap. So like it doesn't make up a lot of money, but there's like huge amount. There's just not a lot of money in it made from it.
Approximately 768.7 tons in 2016, and this all started back in the 1500s, which by at the time of 1540, the Santa Catarina Island had over 800 mills, and 2,000 more of them were along the coast of Brazil. Which also, I just want to mention that that's just sugarcane, because Brazil, well, it's a huge exporter of many other things, and it holds #1 for many different items from around the world. But I'll probably get into that at another episode, because I don't want this whole thing to be about imports and exports. So if you guys want to know more, you know what to do, hit the like button. It also should be noted that when it comes to its manufacturing sector, it is the 2nd largest manufacturing sector in all of the Americas. Now, let's jump over to the imports. Let's take a look at that. For their imports, they import approximately $344 billion, being the 29th highest importer in the world. Most of these things are refined petroleum at 4.8%, unspecified at 4.2%, and vehicle parts at 3.5%. Now that we got those numbers out of the way, let's talk about their love of religion, because it's very important in Brazilian culture. And to prove this, Brazil is home to the 2nd largest church in the entire world. And what you're looking at is the Basilica of the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Aparecida, which, although being consecrated in July of 1980, the location was even home to an old wooden church way back.
Look how huge it is, because you can see it. Wow.
Oh,
I mean, it makes sense that the country's so religious, so they have like a big church, like second biggest. I think the biggest is in Cologne, in Germany, right? The one that we saw.
Back to even 1745. Also, it's been said that Brazil has over 73% of the world's Catholics. Now, I don't know if that's absolutely true, but hey, you can let me know if you think that's right or wrong. Let me know down there. Now, diving further into Brazilian culture, there are some interesting facts to know about in reference to its openness on sexuality and appearance. For example, Brazil has sex-free operations, stating that it is a constitutional right. And also, when it comes to this country...
Sex-free operations, what does that mean?
They say that Brazil is the second highest country when it comes to cosmetic procedures. Funny enough, the country has also banned tanning beds, which I find a little bit weird. Maybe it's because they're just so used to going out and getting their tan from the sun. Oh yeah. So you're probably wondering, okay, Dave, we have all these great facts, but how come you haven't mentioned Carnival yet? Well, that's what we're doing right now. Because Carnival is one of the, literally, actually, the biggest holiday in all of Brazil. It's huge. It is so...
So, guys, is it the holidays, like, you take days off work, you don't have to work? Because I thought it was just an event. I didn't realize it was like...
I think, yeah, you take days off work.
That's interesting.
Because it's part, like, it follows, like, a religion, too, as well, to lead into Lent.
Okay.
That in Rio de Janeiro alone, 4 million people go to see this festival. Now, this is an annual holiday that changes its dates each year, beginning on the Friday before Ash Wednesday and finishing on Ash Wednesday. And for those who don't know what Ash Wednesday is, it's a day of prayer that begins the first day of Lent. And for this particular holiday, known as Carnival, it is a huge party and parade, and one major feature is samba dancing, which samba schools prep all year round to perform. And there's even a bill.
You guys do like a big party. Yeah.
Tuesday before the Lent.
Before Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, and starting Lent.
Thing called the Samba Dome, where schools compete against each other during the festival. So if we're going to talk about culture, one thing that we definitely need to talk about when it comes to Brazil is the people are huge on preserving life and all that jazz. This is because Brazil is a country that has 21 World Heritage UNESCO zones, with 14 of them being cultural and 7 of them being natural. And with that in mind, we should mention one particular one, and that is the Pantanal Conservation Area, which is the largest tropical wetland area in the entire world, equaling over 195,000 square kilometers, so they say. During its wet seasons, approximately 80% of it is submerged underwater, and it is home to many different plant life and animal life, having up to 12 sub-regional ecosystems within it. And throughout the conservation area, they guess there's roughly over 3,000...
Capicabra? It's not?
I thought they were beavers.
No, I thought it was just capicabra.
500 plant species.
Beavers have like a tail that is... I don't see their tails, but beavers like have a specific tail.
1,000 birds, 300 mammals, 9,000 invertebrates, 11 endangered species such as the great anteater and the Pantanal jaguar, the marsh deer, black howler monkeys, and much more. And on top of that, they say that this region has the most amount of animal life in the entire continent. So there you go, guys. That is a brief look at Brazil and the great things that are within the country and the great things that it has to offer. My name is Steve.
Okay.
Oh, he got a lot of information.
Honestly, yeah, this was very interesting. Oh, wait, what we... Let's see. That's like the sponsor video games, whatever.
A beautiful country filled with...
I guess it's summary. But, yeah, honestly... I kind of going and I thought, okay, we'll learn like a thing or two. Most of the stuff we'll know. I feel like I didn't know most of this stuff. That was very... Like, I knew like the GDP and whatnot, that I knew. But a lot of the stuff was very interesting. Yeah, for me, this is way better than Geography Now video, honestly. Wow, really good.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.